Siguro dito na lang. Salamat. Umulan ba dyan? Dito umuulan eh. Okay. Sige. So, sisimulan na natin. Ayan. So, for today, we will start with our new lesson. Bago ko ligo. Pero narinig naman ako. Okay. So, ang lesson natin for today ay ayan. Hindi ko alam kung nabasa nyo na to. Yung lecture 1 natin. Ayan. So, pag-aaralan natin ano ba yung units, scales, charge, current, and voltage. Kung may question kayo, pwede kayo magsalita or mag-type kayo ng question dito sa chat natin. Okay? Ayan. So, ang outcome na gusto nating matutunan sa lecture na to ay para sa inyo to identify DC circuit parameters and components. So, objectives, we will define the concepts of electric circuits and solve problems involving the basic concept of electric circuits. Yeah. Okay. So, meron tayong dalawang types of system na sinusunod. Yung SI, kasi units ang pinag-uusapan, yung SI or the International Systems of Units, and then yung English. So, medyo basic lang naman ang pag-aaralan natin. Parang review lang ng physics in general. Ayan. So this was adopted by the General Conference on Weights and Measures in 1960. So these are based on 6 defined quantities. So ito yung mga basic na quantity. So yung length, mass, meter, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, and the luminous intensity. So in SI unit, so ito yung mga basic unit niya. For quantity, we have meter. For length, we have meter. And the symbols are also shown on the right side. Yung mass naman is kilogram. Time is second. And then ampere is for electric current. Kelvin is for temperature. It's not degree Fahrenheit or it's not degree Celsius. It's Kelvin. Medyo yung iba nagkakamali dito. There's no such thing as degree Kelvin. It's just Kelvin. Kelvin, okay? Unlike degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. And then yung luminous intensity, that is candela. That is somewhat for light, intensity of light. Ayan. Kung SI yan, so meron silang mga corresponding English counterpart. Ano yung unit standard or basic unit of length in English? Can you type your answer? Yards. We don't normally use yards. Ayan. Foot. Foot, miles, ton. Ton is in somewhat in SI. Inch is masyadong maliit. Okay, kung isipin ninyo, basic ito basic. Yung ibang mga quantities ay na-derive lang sila sa mga yan. So what is length over time? Okay, length over time, that is a quantity of speed or velocity. And that is for SI, it's meter per second. So therefore, in English, it is foot per second. So the counterpart of a meter is actually foot. Okay, F-O-O-T. Okay, how about mass? So what is the English unit for mass? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You'll answer that. Kilo is it's a prefix. Okay, so there's a common notation that it is pound, but actually, weight, ang force, fuel, nakikita nyo ba? Force, ang SI is Newton. Okay? It is Newton. And Newton is derived from kilogram meter per second squared. So that's just for SI. Okay? And ang pound is not a unit of mass. It's a unit of force. So pounds is a unit of force. It's not a unit of mass. Okay, so the answer will be, nag-search sa Google. So the answer is a slug. So the answer is a slug. Okay. The unit of measure of mass in English, it's slug. And that's why pounds, kung ang Newton is kilogram meter per second squared, ang pounds is slug foot per second squared. Oh. Okay. So, ayan. So, force, tandaan ninyo, force, pounds is a force, not a mass. Ang mass ay yung slug. Ano po ang tawag? Saan? Okay? Ngayon, di ba ang pound ay, ang spelling niya ay ganyan. Tama ba? Spelling ng pound, ganyan. Pero bakit ang symbol niya LB? Why? Sandali. Sasara ko yung mga bitana. Okay. Okay, so the answer will be, okay, that is LB. Tama ba? LB. Okay. Ayan. So, noong unang panahon kasi, tama kayo, noong unang panahon, ano bang ginagamit para pang-measure ng timbang? Okay, it's the, ayun, tama yung nagsabi ng, it's the zodiac sign, Libra. Okay? So, ang pounds ay nanggaling siya sa Libra. LB. Ayan. Okay, so yun lang dalawang yon. Yung time is the same. English or SI is the same. Kelvin is still the same. Meron lang kasi mga gumagamit ng ibang unit like Celsius or Fahrenheit. Yung iba, kaya sinawag itong basic ito, pag pinagsama-sama mo yung 6 na yan, makakabuo ka nung ibang quantity. Like, kung may meter ka, i-multiply mo ng meter, okay, so length times length, so makakuha ka ng area. Kung namang meter times meter times meter, meron kang volume. Okay, kung naman meron kang length over time, so meron ka namang velocity o kaya speed. Okay? Kung meron ka namang Newton at saka area, so meron kang Pascal. Yan. Said it's Newton over area, that's force over area, so meron kang Pascal. Ano ba? Newton naman, kung meron kang Newton, multiply mo ng meter, so meron kang work. And work that's joules. Okay? Kung meron kang joules, divide mo ng time, so meron kang energy. Ay, sorry. Meron ka palang power. Energy pala yun. So, meron kang power. Ayan. So, kaya yung 6 na yun ang dinefine lang. Pag pinagsama-sama mo yung iba, madiderive mo yung ibang quantity. Okay? So, these are the prefixes in familiar naman kayo sa mga prefixes na to. Yung pinaka-common na ginagamit natin is yung kilo. That's 10 raised to 3. So multiply that by, that's why it's 1,000. So multiply it 1,000 because 10 raised to 3 is 1,000. Mega is 1 million. Giga is 1 billion. Tera, peta, and exa. Sa baba naman, ang malimit natin ginagamit is yung centimeter, like centimeter, millimeter, micrometer. Sa ECE, halos nandito sila sa baba, di ba? Yung mga micrometer, nanometer, yung nano, pico, micro. Di ba pa, kung nag-physics to kayo, yung mga capacitance natin, capacitance ba? Mga picofarad, mga nano, nanocoulomb, milliampere, ay yung gano'n. So, yung sa taas ay mga malaking number, yung sa baba is yung mga maliit na number. Sample daw. So which of the three currents, 0.03 milliampere, 45 microampere, and 25 times 10 raised to 4 ampere is the largest? Okay, so dito, hindi mo pwedeng ipag-compare kung wala sila sa common unit. So based sa solution, in-express niya lahat in terms of milliampere. Kasi ito yung pinakamaliit, ito yung milli, so that's times 10 raised to 3. Okay? So, i-convert mo sila. Pwede naman micro kung gusto mo, kaya 10 raised to 4. Pero ang pinakamadali, if you have your calculator, just press, wait, I'll get my calculator. Okay, alam niyo yung function ng calcu na ENG? Are you familiar? Yung ENG. Ayan. Okay? Yan. So, tatype nyo lang yung number. Pwede namang i-type nyo lang yung number and then press nyo na lang yung ENG. Kung gusto nyo papunta sa left, i-shift ENG nyo. Kung gusto nyo mag-move yung decimal to the right, i-ENG niyo. So, para at least, mas madali silang type nyo lang yung number and then you press ENG. Ang ENG kasi susundan niya yung 369. Yun, lagi niyang susundan yung 369. Okay. Ayan. So, based dito sa example, ang pinakamataas daw ay yung IC or that is 2.5 milliampere. Ayan. Okay, next. Now, what are DC circuits? So, DC circuits, yung uno muna, what are electric circuits? So, these are interconnection of electrical elements. So, if we have, let's say, meron tayong battery, meron tayong lamp, tapos meron tayong wire at kinonect natin. So this is an example of a simple electric circuit. If current will flow, meron siyang loop or meron siyang masusundan from we will have a start component tapos yung current can flow from the starting point or from the positive terminal going back to its negative terminal of the battery. If the current will flow, so that means it's considered an electrical circuit. Siyempre, sir, electric kasi, siyempre, merong element na electricity. Ayan, pag-uusapan ng circuits, always go back to the subatomic particle into a charge. Okay, para review lang ito. Okay, ang symbol natin for charge is Q, capital Q or small q, which is an electrical property of atomic particles of matter, which is measured in coulomb. Ang current kasi, we will study current. So meron tayong dalawang klase ng current, yung average current and the instantaneous current. So kung current, ang definition ng current ang pag-uusapan, ang current I is equal to charge over time. So that's coulomb over time. Ngayon, kung instantaneous naman ang pag-uusapan, so this is instantaneous. Pwede ba ano ito? Ayan. Pag instantaneous ang pag-uusapan, so that means that's the derivative, that's dq over dt. Okay? dq over dt. Kung instantaneous ibig sabihin at that particular instant at any time, so we can solve for the total charge or the total current passing to a particular point or conductor or wire. What if charge yung pinag-usapan? So ang gagawin natin is just cross multiply. So that will be dq is equal to I dt. So if you want to get the total charge given the equation of the current, so we'll just integrate. So therefore, Q is equal to the integral of I dt from the limit of t initial to t final. Okay, kaya siya naging, kaya nakuha natin yung formulang yan. Ayan, na Q is, ti pa mo ginamit ko. That is TO over, from T0 to T final. But it's all the same. Q is equal to the integral of I dt from T0 to T final. Okay, so when this charge starts to move around the loop created by the interconnection of electrical elements, power is dissipated in another form of energy or light energy in that case. Okay, so energy yung pinag-uusapan. Naalala nyo ba ang the law of conservation of energy? Ano ang sabi sa the law of conservation of energy? Okay, so a part of the definition, you are correct, Chantel, that energy can't be created or destroyed. But may kasunod siya. Ano yung kasunod? Noel, be careful. Neither. Okay. It can only be turned in. Okay. So, ang pinaka-term na ginagamit nila is transform. Okay, but can only be converted or transformed from one form to another. Ayan. Tama. Galing. Kaya na kayo mag-test. Okay, so let me go back to the simple circuit example. Ayan. So, pag wala itong cable na to, syempre, wala yung cable na to or naka-turn off yung battery natin. So that means wala kang magiging ilaw dito. So energy is stored in the battery. So probably it's in the form of an electrical energy. Okay, pero pag minove mo na to, ayan, Pag minove mo na, nag-connect ka na ng wire, papunta dito sa lamp natin. So meron tayong tinatawag na potential difference. And therefore, charges will start to move. Okay? Charges will start to move. And these charges are bringing energy. Siguro from an electrical energy, syempre nag-move sila. O anong energy yung associated with movement or speed? Diba? Magkakaroon sila ng kinetic energy. Okay? So yung kinetic energy or other forms of energy na dala nila ay pupunta sila ngayon dito sa may lamp natin at syempre iilaw yung lamp. Pag umilaw yung lamp, yung energy na yon is naging siyang light energy. At syempre, mawawalan ng energy yung charges. Pag nawalan yung energy yung charges, babalik na sila doon sa lower potential or doon sa negative one. And it's a cycle. So yung mga merong charges na may energy, pupunta sila dito para continuously ilawan yung, sisindan yung ilaw, and then babalik sila doon kasi nawalan sila ng energy. Okay. Transformer. Okay, so an atom is made up of subatomic charge, yung proton, electron, and charge. And the uncharged one is the neutron. Or sometimes we call that the nucleus. Yung nucleus is the combination of the tama ba ako? The proton and the neutron. So if you will see an example of an atom, ito. So ang atom na to ay meron siyang tatlong proton at tatlong electron. Ayan. At saka tatlong neutron. Ay, parang marami. Basta meron siyang tatlong proton na nasa gitna at saka tatlong electron na nasa labas. Okay, so syempre nakadepende lagi pag pinag-uusapan yan, yung sa tinatawag sa chemistry na valence electron. So valence electron, yun yung electron on the outer shell. Outer shell. So, napaka-importante ng valence electron na yon kasi dinidetermine ng valence electron kung anong klaseng material yung kinocompose ng mga atoms na yon. Like, ano ba? Ang hydrogen, 1 yon, 1. Pero yung carbon, silicon ay meron siyang outer na 4, I think. And then, ano ba ako? Yon. Yung mga copper, yung mga conductor, yan. So, pag ang valence electron niya ay from, it's 1 from 1 to 3. 1 to 3. So, pag ang valence electron is 1 to 3 and 5 to 8. Pag 1 to 3, so they are considered conductors. Okay? The materials. Pag 5 to 8, so they are considered insulators. Pero pag nasa 4 sila, so parang hindi nila alam kung conductor ba sila or semiconductor. Sinabi ko yung sagot. Insulator sila. Ang tawag sa kanila ay semiconductor. So meron kang kailangan gawin na pag-aaralan nyo sa electronics, tinatawag na doping, para it's either mag-conduct sila or mag-insulate sila. So yun yung pag-aaralan sa electronics. And you will not dwell with that in this subject. Kasi pang electronics. Ayan. So the electrical charge, there are 6.24 times 10 to the 18 electrons in one coulomb of charge. And on 1 electron, ang unit niya ay negative 1.602 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. So coulombs law, pinag-aralan niyo to. Pag proton naman siya, positive lang. Okay? The law of conservation of charge says that charge can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. So parang siyang law of conservation of energy. But this one is for charge. Instead of being created or destroyed, transform, ito ay nata-transfer. Okay? Do you have any question? Ayan. So, class, yung word na electricity is nanggaling siya sa word na pinag-aralan niyo to, Physics 2. Saan galing ang word na electricity? Galing siya sa word na electron. Imbis na C. Okay. Naghang ba? Pero narinig niyo ako. Okay. Okay, so galing siya sa amber, ibig sabihin ay ayun, yun. Ano ba ano ba sa Tagalog ang amber? Ano ba sa Tagalog ang amber? Yan, no. Google. Ano sa Tagalog ang amber? Yan yun, dagta, yes, correct. Ember naman yung apoy. Ember, tama ember. Amber. Hindi ember. Dagta. Kasi noong unang panahon, yung mga yan, ginagamit nila yung amber na pinatigas, tapos kinikis-kis sa mga silk, tapos ginagawa silang pag-attract ng papel. Yan. Kaya 'di ba ano yan? Like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Okay? Okay, so that's so much for the charge. Next is current. Ayan. So current, ang symbol natin is I. Tingin nyo, bakit I? But current, but hindi C? Why not C? Why I symbol? Ang galing. Taken na kasi yung C. So that is column. Ang sinasabi na lang is tsaka capacitance. You think of intensity. Okay? Intensity. That's why they use the symbol I is for intensity. And not C. It's because C is taken. Okay, si Andre Marie Ampere, ayan yung inano ko kanina, DQ over dt, is a French mathematician who defined the electric current and developed a way to measure it in 1820. Ayan, class. Ayan. So, mabalik ako, bakit, sa tingin nyo, bakit, ano ba? Ang electricity ay pinangalan siyang electricity. Why? Bakit ang root to ang term na yon ay nanggaling siya sa word na electron. Pwede mo kayo magsalita para may kausap ako. Tingin nyo, bakit ang electricity ay pinangalan ng electricity? Or pinanggalingan niya ay electron? Okay, flow of electric charge. Okay. Okay, so ang sagot ay Okay, class. Ang sagot ay, dito tingnan nyo. Sino ba ang nagmo-move? Ang proton or electron? Yan. Electron. Kasi kung ang proton ang nagmo-move, hindi siya electricity. May ibang pangalan niya. Hindi na siya magiging electricity. Okay. Probably, Earl. Ang galing mo, no? Siguro ganyan yung pangalan niya, no? Okay? So, one reason din kung bakit mas malayo, tingnan ninyo, ang neutron kasi at saka proton, kung check niyo yung calculator ninyo at pupunta kayo sa constant 1, 2, 3, you can compare the masses of those three. If you'll compare the masses of those three, ang mass ng proton ay masyadong mabigat compared sa mass ng electron. That's why kung babalikan natin ng law of universal gravitation, di ba mass attracts other masses. Since mas mataas ang mass ng neutron at saka proton, kaya sila nagstay sa gitna because merong gravitational force between them. Kaya lang masyadong mahina yung mass, mababa ang mass ng electron compared to proton. That's why yung force ng sa gitna papunta dito sa mga electron ay masyadong mababa. Kaya siya yung freely na nag-move around the atom kasi nga mababa yung kanilang mass. Okay. Ay.
Wala po naka-share screen.
Anong nangyayari? O nga, no, ginawa ko naman kanina to. Ayaw. Yeah. And then, bumalik lang ako dun sa ano. Yes. sorry. Ayun. Bumalik lang ako dun. Gusto ko lang isabihin sa inyo yon yung if you will research on the law of universal gravitation, di ba, mass attracts other masses. So, kaya yung nagmo-move yung electron, one particular reason is masyadong mababa yung mass ng electron compared sa proton, kaya hindi na-attract ng neutron at saka proton yung electron. Because masyadong weak yung gravitational force. So even though we say that like charges repel, unlike charges attract, kaya lang meron pang isang force, yung gravitational force. Yeah. Pinag-aralan nyo ba yon? Yung universal law of gravitation. Ayun, very good. Galing-galing yun naman pala eh. So parang hindi ko na dapat pala in-explain. Ayan. Kaya tingnan ninyo, ang charges ay, yung mga electron, yung mga negative charges yung nagmo-move. Pero later, I will explain bakit yung direction ng current is paganyan, pero yung charges yung paganyan. Siguro na-explain naman ito sa inyo. That is what we call electron flow. Ang science kasi, science in particular, pag science ang pinag-uusapan, sinusundan nila yung electron flow. Pero pag engineering ang pag-uusapan, ang susundan natin is yung, not the science, not the electron flow, but the conventional flow. That charges move from positive to negative, not the other way around. Okay? So since engineering tayo, applied science, ang sinusundan natin is yung conventional flow. Pag science ang pinag-uusapan, yung electron flow. Pero pag sa ECE yata, alam ko baliktad. Electron flow yung sinusundan. Pero for electrical engineering, ang sinusundan is the conventional flow. Yan. So, a negative current of negative A flowing in one direction is the same as a current flowing in the opposite direction. Okay, pag nag-solve tayo, pag nakakuha kayo ng negative, it doesn't mean that your answer is wrong. It just means that syempre, shock pa rin naman yon. Ang ibig lang sabihin nun, yung assumption ninyo nung mag-solve kayo is baliktad lang. But it doesn't mean you're wrong. You're still correct. Okay? Okay, ano ba ang ibig yun yung electricity, charges, and the current. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng DC? So DC means direct current wherein the current remains constant. So yun yung sinasabi ko na at any point in time, the current will be the same. That's why it's called direct, or in short, wala siyang frequency. Di ba yung frequency yung mga pa-sinusoidal wave na ganyan? Ganyan. That's may frequency naman, or yung may current that varies sinusoidally with time, it is what we call the AC, or the alternating current. So, halimbawa dito, magsabi, oh, after 1 second, ano yung kanyang current? It's still the same. Pero dito, pag sinabi natin after at 0, the current is 0. Let's say ang 1 second dito. 1 second, it is at this point. So, probably, let's say, that's 2 amperes. So, at any point in time, the current changes. Okay, so that's why it's alternating. So, that's AC. For direct, at any point in time, the current will, or the quantity will be the same. Okay, yung EMF naman, ayan, EMF or the electromotive force, or sometimes, ang pinaka-common dito is voltage. Sa science naman, they call it the potential difference. But these three means one thing. So these are the energy required to move a unit charge through an element measured in volts. Okay, so 1 volt is equal to 1 joule per coulomb. Okay, may mga quantities lang kailangan sundan. Diba, ang current is charge over time. Yan. Pero pag voltage, okay, voltage is energy over charge. Charge. That's why this is coulombs per second. And this is joules per coulomb. Okay, joules per coulomb. And the V then will be, the voltage is equal to the the derivative of the work or the energy over the derivative of the charge. So kung ito ay, ang I is dQ over dt, ang V naman is dW over dQ. Okay, si Alessandro Antonio Volta, the Italian physicist who invented the battery, which provided the first continuous flow of electricity. So, ayan. So, ito yung lang sinasabi kanina, yung direction lang. Kung positive to negative, that's positive. Pag ganyan naman, so that will be negative. Okay, so let's have the solution. Sandali lang. Sorry. Okay, so let's have a first example. So how much charge is represented by 4,600 electrons? Yeah. So how much charge? Electrons. Okay. Sabi dito, so we have 4,600 electrons. So we are to find what is the total charge. So meron tayong um, um, uh, unit kanina. Ang 1 electron ay ilan charge? Ay pala nakikita yung sagot. So meron siyang negative 1.602 times 10 raised to negative 19 coulomb of charge. So therefore, 4,600 electron, multiply natin, for every electron, meron kang negative 1.602 times 10 raised to negative 19. So, the answer will be, may calculator kayo, so papakita na lang natin. Yeah. So the answer is negative 7.369 times 10 raised to negative 16. Bakit 55 tayo pala? Ito. Yan, hanggang. Tama. Ang dami natin. Ako, sa bagay, doble-doble yung account ko. Yan, okay. Very good, very good. Pwede na tayong mag-test. Basic na, basic. Okay, so let's have number 2. The total charge entering a terminal of an element is given by Q is equal to 40 cubed minus 5t microcoulomb. Find the current at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 2 seconds. Okay. Number 2. Nakikita nyo ba? Ayan. So number 2 ay tanong. So meron daw tayong equation, given na equation ng charge na 4t cube minus 5t microcoulomb. Pinapakuha, determine I if A, t is 0, B, t is 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay, ano bang relation nila? Diba I is equal to dq over dt. Yan. So you get the first derivative. So derivative nito ay 12t squared minus 5. So that therefore you substitute. So that's equal to I times 0 squared minus 5. So the answer is negative 5 ampere. Okay. Okay, how about if it's 2 seconds? What if it, let this letter A? How about B? So what's the answer in B? 12 times 4, 48 minus 5, 43. Okay, so tama. 43 microampere. Talagang handa na kayong mag-test, no? Sige. Alam ko may mga sagot na to. Ako na lang ang gagawa ng question. Ayan. So, kayo na bahala dito. Ayan. So, let's have... Ako naman ang gagawa. Sige. So, Ako tatanggalin ko na muna to. Focus kayo dito sa yan. Okay? Review nyo yung camera ko. Yan. So, ano kasi? Okay, so given the equation of current as 4 sine t plus 2 e raised to t milliampere. Find A. Q from 0 to 1 second. B. I at t is equal to 0. Yan. Okay, so tama yan. Mali ba? Tama. Okay, so ito yung question. You view the camera, yung may nakasulat doon. So ito yung question natin. Solve natin. Kasi may answer naman yung kanina, so wag ko nang isa-solve. So gawa na lang tayong bago. So ito yung question. Given that the equation of the current is 4, I is equal to 4 sine t plus 2 e raised to t milliampere. Find A, the charge from 0 to 1 second, total charge, and B, what's the current at t is equal to 0. Okay. So, ang buong formula natin ay I is equal to formula I is equal to dq over dt. Then we cross multiply. So therefore, dq is equal to I dt. And then we want to find q, so we'll integrate. Yeah. Okay. So therefore, q is equal to the integral of I dt. And the limit is from 0 to 1. So therefore, that is from 0 to 1. So what's I? I is 4 sine t plus 2 e raised to t dt. Yan. And then we will integrate. So therefore, what's q? What's the integral of 4 sine t? That is, integral of sine t is cosine t or negative cosine t. Nag-isip sila. Okay, so it's negative. Tama. Negative for cosine t. And how about the integral of plus 2 e raised to t? So it's still e raised to t plus 2 e raised to t from 0 to 1. Then we'll apply. So that's negative 4 cosine 1 plus 2e raised to 1 minus the quantity negative 4 cosine 0 plus 2e raised to 0. Okay, so that's equal to, pa-calculate please. So the answer is, what's your answer? 2. Ang sagot ko ay 1.6. Okay, class. Sinadya ko hindi sabihin. Dapat yung calculate nyo naka-radian. Kasi hindi naman angle yung 1 second then 0 second. So dapat naka-radian yung calculate nyo para bago nyo siya i-evaluate. Okay? Yeah, MA. Ay, sorry. Ay, nako. It's a milli. Sorry. Oo nga pala. Tama ba ako? 1.6? Baka mali ako ng pag-input sa calculate. Okay, ang nakuha ko ay 1.597777288. Ano yung nakuha ninyo? Ay, totoo. Sandali, ulitin ko. I-remove ko yung memory. Bakit ang calculate ko pinapalabas is 1.6? Okay, so mali yung shortcut ko. 5.28. Tama ba? 28. Probably I'll check that. Nag-shortcut kasi ako ng integral. Bakit iba yung nilalabas ng integral? Ah. That's 5.275. Okay. So, ayan, for letter B, letter B is a substitute nyo lang. Okay, madali lang naman yung letter B. So, ang sagot ay sin 0 is still 0. So, the answer will just be 2. But it is letter A. Letter B, the answer is I is equal to 2 milliampere. Ayan. I-substitute nyo lang yung T is equal to 0 dun sa... Ayan. Okay? So, sa tayo. Do you have any question? Okay, so for your assignment, is you need to pass the activity 1. Okay? I-activate ko activity 1 and then yung deadline niya ay next meeting, sa Monday. Say, sa Monday yung deadline. So mamaya, i-activate ko siya and then I will post on our group chat yung time at saka yung kung saan nyo siya makikita. Okay? So, any question? Kung may question kayo, just drop a message sa FB or dito. And then, kasi 3:30 na, 7 na, baka hintayin na ako na 5:02, ng 2:02. Okay? O sige. Good day. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, sige. Salamat. Lilipat na ako sa kabila.